Brahma Gururvishnu Gurudevo Maheshwarah Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Yeah, first we shall do little Sugama and then do Vedanta Paribhasha also. Each one of half an hour talk. So in yesterday's talk, we said the various schools which interpret the Upanishads differently and derive a different purport, different tatparya. For this, Swamiji replied, there are so many views, so many doctrines, none of them, they are all imagination, speculations. They don't go with the Upanishadic mantras. They impose the meaning. They stretch the sentences beyond the capacity of the words, like this. So, vidyamana vakyanyapi kalpayantaha kadartha avidyamana vakyani. They forge new statements, distort the existing statement to forge the new statements, and then take a meaning which is far-fetched from it, like this they do. So Vishishtadvaita, Vishuddhadvaita Siddhanta Gangam Kadarthayanti. They pollute the pure Ganga of Advaita. Vivida Akshepa Prakshepana Avalayitumihante Chate Virtha Prayasaha. In all their attempt in vain. Bhashya, all this because they have missed the essential point of Bhashya, the very idea of Vidya and Avidya. The very idea of Avidya is Adhyasa, and Vidya is just shifting your standpoint from Adhyasa to the Swarupa. That's all. Just this, unable to understand this basic simple idea of Vidya and Avidya, they have done lot of misinterpretations. Therefore, it is better to ignore them and it is better to ignore them. Therefore, Viveka Prakriya Anabhignyatvadeva Upekshaniyaha, they have to be ignored. And therefore, Tadevam Vadi Vipratipattehe Tavannasti Kopi Atankaha Atmaikatva Vidya Pratignyaya. Therefore, Atmaikatva Vidya Pratipattaye, to understand the unity of Atman, all the Vedantas begin. That means all the way Upanishads aim to teach that one unity of Atman. To this statement of us, there is no threat. There is no threat from any of the interpretations of these people. Their interpretations being far-fetched, away from the Upanishads and an imposed interpretation. Therefore, their interpretations are going to pose no threat to our interpretation, our traditional explanation that all the Upanishads aim to teach unity of Brahman. To this idea, there is no threat at all. Because you see them from the superficial look, you can see them how they are far-fetched. Okay, we'll proceed with the next paragraph now. Yadapi kechit vedantaha sagunopasana paraha kechitcha abrahma bhuta pranadyupastinam vidhayakascha tathacha na sarvesham vedantanam atmaikatvopadesha paratvam shakya pratigyanamiva. Again, another doubt. Now here is another doubt that some Vedantic texts teach meditation on Saguna Brahman with qualities, Brahman with certain attributes, and certain Upanishadic mantras seem to teach meditation of non-Brahman. Okay, meditation not even of Brahman, meditation of non-Brahman, but of some other things like prana, etc. They do teach pranopasana. When they are teaching pranopasana, some teach Saguna Brahma, some mantras teach non-Brahma. Okay. Even enjoin meditation of non-Brahman. Non-Brahman means something other than Brahman. Then how can you say that all the Upanishads have a single unitive purpose, unitive goal of teaching one Atman alone. This again isn't this against your own interpretation of Upanishads. To this again, to this doubt, the reply is tathapi karya vidhayakanam shrutinam vastu sarpa nidharane tatparya abhavat. So they are not. So the certain statements which enjoin some karma, some meditation, they don't contradict the other statements which teach the facts. See, this is very interesting. One is tatpara atatpara vakya. One statement teaches the fact as it is. Another statement doesn't teach the fact, but use the knowledge about something for some other purpose. Okay. So here, where karma and upasana are given, they are not teaching the facts. This is important. In Upanishads, we have to remember. See, the Vedantic texts that enjoin a duty or meditation do not intend to declare the real nature of a fact. The karma bodhaka vakyani, the sentences which teach duty, or any other certain sentences which teach meditation, they are not aiming to teach Brahman. They are not aiming to teach an existing fact. See, when you are teaching duty, you are only encouraging a person to do some duty and not teaching a fact, not revealing a fact. Even in upasanas also. Therefore, don't feel karma bodhaka vakyas pose contradiction to the Upanishadic statements which teach an existing fact. Tathapi karya vidhayakanam shrutinam vastu swarupa nirdharane tatparya abhavat. Okay, because there a statement which is teaching only karya means some action. Its purpose is only karya. It is not teaching a fact. Therefore, vastu swarupa nirdharane tatparya bhavat. If a Upanishad Vakyam is teaching karma, don't derive any conclusion that karma is the reality. It is teaching karma and doesn't imply that karma is eternal, karma is real. It is teaching upasana. It is teaching another one. When Upanishad teaches Paramatma to be meditated with these attributes, it doesn't mean that these attributes are real. See, certain meditations, certain duties it teaches, it is not teaching them as a fact. It is teaching only for this purpose. If you do this karma, you will get this result. The karma, the reality about a karma is, the purpose of its teaching is that it produces certain result. Whether it produces that result definitely or not, that is the only reality about it. You do this karma, definitely you get the result. So here the definiteness of that result is the main point here. Not to teach that whether the karma is real or phalam is real. Because it is the Upanishad that talks about the realities. Karma doesn't deal with karma shastra. A shastra which teaches duty doesn't deal with the reality of life. What is reality? It is not addressing at all. It is not dealing with facts. The topic itself is just a duty. Why it is teaching duty? Because duty has certain purpose. The duty being a karma, it produces certain result. If a jiva is in need of that result, he will go for that karma. If jiva is interested in that result, either the Bhashya phalam, external phalam like punya and external world, or he may deserve, he may need a purification of the mind as a result of that karma. That karma is capable of producing both external result and internal result. Internal result is a purification. External is producing some punya, some loka. So the karmas, when they are taught in the Shastra, their aim is only this much. Now they are not dealing with reality. They are not talking whether karma is real or not. See, there is no question. The topic doesn't arise. He needs a result and we show a way. That's all. You take this and then you will find the result. Because that person is not interested in finding the truth, finding the reality of the things. Whether karma phala, karta. Is karta real? Is karma real? Is karma phalam real? He is not asking. He is a karta, is interested in some result. Now he is looking for a sadhana. Shastra says, come on, you follow this path and you will get that result. There, the student is expecting only result. Shastra also keeping his expectation, his hope into consideration. It advises certain sadhana, certain karma rupa sadhana to get the result. It is only that level. It is not dealing with whether karta is real. Are you karta first? It is not asking. It takes for granted that I am karta. And I want some result, some enjoyment, some wants it. You want heaven, you want something. Okay, you want it, you will get it. It is not teaching you that the heaven is non-eternal, heaven is temporary, or heaven is mithya. In Karma Kanda, no question of mithya arises. See, anityatvam mithya doesn't arise. When Karma Kanda is teaching a certain karma to achieve certain result, it is not teaching whether it is satyam mithya. Satyam mithya is a topic totally reserved for Upanishads, and it is not a topic of, it is not a matter of Karma Kanda to deal with. Okay. Even meditation also. You do meditation, you get certain result. Very subtle result. Your whole inner personality will be transformed. As a result of it, two things happen. Your inner personality will be transformed. A certain changes within you take place. And as a result of it, you will reach after the death of the body a loka corresponding to your upasana. So you are interested in changing your personality and also acquiring a loka, going to a loka. That's all Shastra advises you. You follow this meditation with this Shraddha, with this Bhakti, with Guru, whatever discipline which goes with the upasanas are given, all the discipline one is supposed to follow and one is sure to get the result. There you have a doubt regarding karma and upasana is, you want a assurance whether this karma, this upasana definitely will give me the result which you have promised, which the Shastra promises. The very promising of the Shastra proves the definiteness of a result. Otherwise, Shastra would not advise. Shastra would not advise a karma and upasana for a result unless it is sure that the performer is sure to get the result. So the reality or the most important point about karma and upasana, the most important point the sadhakas need to know, and the Shastra also deals with only that, is whether you are going to get the result surely or not. If you are sure, you are very happy and then go ahead with it. That's all. How much result you get it? And is there any negative result associated, accompanying it, that side effects? Is there any negative side effects? How much is good of it? That you can find out. And whether you are going to get the result, definitely, of course. Otherwise, why should the Shastra teach certain karmas and upasanas if the Shastra itself is not sure of the result? That means Shastra himself is not sure, then Shastra is not a pramana. If Shastra is not sure of a result of a particular karma, it has no right to advise. It is incapable of advising a person to follow this duty. If supposing I advise you to follow this duty. You take this path. Oh, this road is very beautiful. Take to this road. Then he asks you, then will I reach Bangalore by this road? He says, I don't know whether this road will take you to Bangalore or not. But I can tell you, road is very nice. So what? I need to go to Bangalore, or I want just because the road is good and I should go and stand on the road. So one thing most important with sadhaka expects, and Shastra also is very sure of, is that this karma will definitely give you that expected result, hoped result, promised result. Okay, the surety of result makes the karma worth performing. Okay, the surety of result makes the meditation worth practicing. And the sadhaka also is interested in the result. It doesn't look at it whether it is real or unreal. The real unreal topic is matter, totally is a different matter pertaining to Upanishads, not to the Karma Kanda and Upasana Kanda. Okay. Therefore, Karya Vidhayakanam Shrutinam Vastu Swarupa Nirdharane Tatparya Bhavat. Therefore, don't look for the reality in the Karma Kanda and Upasana Kanda. Some people, how confused they are. Upanishads totally are dealing with a different topic, totally different from karma and upasana. And unable to know this, or failing to know this, while interpreting the Upanishads, they jump to Karma Kanda. They go to Karma Kanda. Karma Kanda means the earlier portion of the Veda, the previous portion of the Veda and Upanishads, and take those statements and try to interpret Upanishadic statements in the light of Karma Kanda. But Karma Kanda is teaching only Karma Phalam. It is not dealing with facts. Whether world is real, then Brahma is real, Jivatvam is real. No question of reality and unreality. Reality, unreality is not a topic. I give you one fruit. It is sweet and it is good for your health. That's all. He's not telling you how long this fruit will last. Can I keep it for only 2 months, 6 months? 6 months, no fruit can survive. Probably dry fruits may do, but normal fruit cannot survive more than a week. It may be few days, 4 or 5 days, maximum 1 week. After 1 week, they just get rotten. The fruits get rotten and uneatable they become. Unedible, they have to be thrown out. Therefore, Shastra is, it may add. Don't keep it for a long time, more than 1 week or 10 days, because you won't be able to consume it, it will get rotten. That is only to precaution you, that is only to warn you that it might get rotten. Therefore, before it gets rotten, before it becomes overripe, rotten means overripe only, not that some bacteria or something is there. It is overripe. Overripe means the fruit gets ripened, fruit grows, expands, then ripens. After ripening it, then it's what you call degradation begins. Disintegration begins. It disintegrates into Panchabhutas. It goes back into Mula form, that is the earth. Earth and water and the heat. It disintegrates. So overripe means disintegration. Ripe means it is a positive result. The same ripening process. After some time, see, whatever the process that was set in, the plant bears a fruit, a raw fruit. In the same process, it becomes ripens also. And whatever the process that went on, that has been going on, that has made it ripen, whatever the internal transformation that made it ripen, the same process goes on. Then the over-ripens. Over-ripen means what? It gets disintegrated. So in the stage of disintegrating, you can't eat it, because part of it is already disintegrated, uneatable. It can be only thrown out. Therefore, karma doesn't deal with reality. Fruit, when you are talking of fruit, you eat this fruit, it is tasty. And also it is good for health. That's all. It doesn't teach whether fruit is real and all that. That's not its topic. Okay. Similarly, Jnanakanda alone deals with realities. Realities means whether it is real or not. Therefore, Karya Vidhayakanam Shrutinam Vastuswarupa Nirdharane Tatparya Abhavat. So this is Shankara Vedanta. What are the special features of Shankara Vedanta? We have been discussing it in contrast with others. For them, the division of Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda is not there. While interpreting Upanishads, they jump to Karma Kanda and bring the statements from there, and then they interpret the Upanishads. Karma Kanda is not dealing with the reality, not dealing with absolute truth. It is only dealing with cause and effect. Cause and effect. This is the cause and this is the effect. This is the cause and this is the effect. You adopt this cause and definitely, automatically you are choosing effect also. Okay. You adopt this cause and you will get the result. So the Karma Kanda, Upasana Kanda deals with only cause and effect, that's all. How effective is this cause? How good it produces the result, and how quickly and how surely. How quickly, how surely it produces the result, what good result it will produce, how beneficial result it produces. That is the only topic it deals with. And the sadhaka of Karma Kanda, a person who is fit for Karma Kanda is interested only in that. He is not discussing real or unreal. If he discusses, then he will go to Upanishads. Why should he go to Karma Kanda? If he wants the reality, because Karma Kanda doesn't deal with reality at all. Yeah, it takes reality, it takes the world for granted. It takes the world to be real. It takes his own jivatvam to be real. It takes the world and other things to be real. It goes on. Okay, there, that means neither there is a doubt nor there is a need for replying it. Assuming that the world is there, an instinctive assumption that the world is there and I am Jiva and here is a world and here are the sadhanas and I need certain result, and you can adopt these sadhanas. You can adopt these sadhanas to achieve your desirable end, desirable fruit, your desirable or desired fruit. You are interested in desired fruit and adopt the method and follow it strictly as exactly as the Shastra teaches, then you are sure to get the result. That's all. So Karma Kanda can assure you only the surety of result. See, this point of Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda deals with the fact, Vastu Tantram Jnanam, the objective reality. Here, it is only for your need, your interest, your liking, you want it, therefore you do it. So it is only of your own liking, your interest, your taste, you like it and do it. But it's not dealing with reality. So this is the difference. This is the Shankara's idea is Karma Kanda, Upasana Kandas, both are karma. Because they are sadhanas and they produce result. For a particular sadhana to produce its result, definitely certain other sadhanas, auxiliary sadhanas, accessory sadhanas are there. Certain limbs, certain auxiliary sadhanas are supposed to be combined with this main sadhana, and certain discipline you have to follow, because the karta who is expecting the result from this sadhana is supposed to follow certain values, certain discipline, certain purity, and certain faith, and certain things, and then also practice. See, three things are there. One is the very sadhaka supposed to have certain discipline, certain values, certain purity, because it is he who is going to perform the karma, and it is he who is going to get the result. Because the karta is a necessary ingredient, necessary part of a karma. If karta is wrong, if karta's samskara is wrong, the effect of karma, the overall effect of karma in producing the result will suffer. Therefore, karta has to follow certain discipline and certain values and certain capacity. Then the result of the karma will be different, because he is more conducive to it. He has prepared himself. Therefore, in karma, karta's preparation. Then second thing is the exact process of sadhana. That sadhana being a Shastriya sadhana, Shastra alone can tell us. And what exactly is the Shastra sadhana? You can't just superficially look at it and start practicing. People just see what others are doing. He is doing yajna and he starts doing it. You can't do like that. You have to learn what is the detail, the process of karma in detail, thoroughly detail. Okay. One is the karta preparation. Second is knowing the karma procedure and the ingredients and procedure and the mantra and how to perform and all that. Third one is the actual practice. So these three, if they are done well, if karta is prepared well, if the karma process is well understood, thoroughly understood, and also with sincerely practiced. So your result of your karma depends upon these three factors. Therefore, you are supposed to make sure of these three factors. If you make sure of these three factors, you are likely to get the result. You are surely to get the result. But in all these processes, while preparing the kartrutvam, while learning the process of karma, the method of karma, strictly according to the Shastra, and also practicing it sincerely with all discipline and values, all these three things are rare. It's not easy to do them. Therefore, people fail to do in one of these three. Therefore, they don't get the result. First thing is they are careless about these three, that is the preparation of karta, learning the process of karma, and practicing it sincerely and in toto, exactly as it is, as the Shastra teaches. In these three aspects, people don't do thoroughly or make mistakes, or the mind also, the basic essential belief and also viveka, all this is required. You have to believe and also certain corrections also. You have to watchful. So the correct performance, correct learning the process properly, theoretical knowledge properly, and practicing it, and you yourself should be well prepared. Then only you will get the result. People hastily do superficially. They don't learn the process of karma thoroughly well. They learn just superficially few points. Remaining they imagine and do it. Okay, this is the one mistake. Karta is not sufficiently prepared. He doesn't develop sufficient qualities to perform a ritual, certain values, certain discipline. Without learning and practicing the discipline and values, out of over enthusiasm, out of hastiness, he will jump to take up the karma and spend lot of money and make a show. Ultimately, he doesn't get the result. And he says that, oh, I spent so much of money, I worked hard so much, I didn't get the result. So, Shastriya karma requires a certain Shastriya discipline. Okay, Adhikaritvam. Adhikari, Jnanam, Prayojanam. Adhikari, Jnanam, and process, sadhana, Adhyasa. All these three are required. Okay, so these are the topics Karma Kanda is dealing with. So if you want to learn these three, Kartru preparation, preparing a karta, learning about a ritual, learning about an action, and then how to perform it sincerely, thoroughly well, so that you are sure to get the result. So for these three, these are the three topics Karma Kanda, Upasana Kanda deal with. Therefore, those statements of Karma Kanda are rarely useful. There are few rarely statements, but most of them are not useful for Jnana Kanda. So this is where they commit mistake. Those who trying to understand Upanishad jump into Karma Kanda and bring the Karma Kandaic statements which are not relevant to it. Some of the statements are relevant. You can bring them, but not all. Okay. So, Chitta, okay. So, Tathapi Karya Vidhayakanam Shrutinam. Therefore, the Purvapakshis doubt that, oh, but certain Upanishads deal with karma, certain Upanishads deal with Upasana. Then how can you say all Upanishadic mantras are teaching one truth alone? See, understand that portion of the Veda. Such portion of the Veda which deals with karma and karmapala is not dealing with a fact. Okay. Vastu Swarupa Nirdharane Tatparya Abhavat Tatparyena Aikyam Nirakansham Bodhayantinam anubhava paryavasayininam shrutinam pramanyam nishpratyuhameha. And another thing is tatparyena aikyam nirakansham. But the Jnanakandas unanimously, all the Vedantic Upanishadic mantras, Vedantic mantras, keeping a single aim that you are Brahman. This knowledge in view, they proceed to teach you. But those Vedantic texts which aim to teach the unity of Atman, those Vedantic statements, sentences which teach the Aikyam, Atma Aikyam as a fact, do not need something more, because they don't need anything more. Nirakansham bodhayantinam anubhava paryanta anubhava paryavasayininam shrutinam pramanyam nishpratyuhameva. Their pramanyam is, pratyuha means obstacles. Their validity as a means of knowledge is unobstructed. Nishpratyuham means, hence validity of these texts is not contradicted. Nishpratyuham is not contradicted by or obstructed, by the former text. Therefore, Karmakanda statements, by teaching karma, by teaching upasana, they are not going to contradict or take away the validity of Jnanakanda. See the point. When Karmakanda is dealing with certain things, it is a different topic, different chapter, therefore they deal with their relevant topic alone. Therefore, those statements are not going to obstruct, not going to invalidate Upanishadic statements. Karmakanda statements are talking of within a limited context of time, space, karta, karma, cause and effect. So they work within a limited context. In a limited context for a particular purpose, they are operated, they are designed. Very Karmakanda is designed by Bhagavan himself for that purpose. So they cannot feel that, it is contradicting Jnanakanda. Jnanakanda is totally different topic, let them do. So that's how, see, in India, we have got all very interesting thing. Ordinary people, they are interested in Arthakama Purushartha, make money, enjoy even worldly pleasure. At the same time, they respect Sannyasi, Vedanta, Viraktas and Jnani. They don't practice them. They are not interested in sannyasa and moksha. Yet if there are already sannyasis, if there are any viraktas, if they are good bhaktas, selfless people, they live side by side. Those who are not interested in worldly pleasures, they have got a detachment, vairagya for the worldly pleasures. And those who are interested in worldly pleasures, both of them live side by side. Nobody imposes. Vedantins say, we don't impose Vedanta on anybody unless he is sufficiently mature. Unless he got good vairagyam, we can't impose all Vedanta on him. Let him develop maturity and vairagyam. At a later stage, we will teach Vedanta. Now at this stage, we'll teach him certain values, certain discipline, certain faith and rituals and prayers. So let him continue. If he discovers sufficient vairagyam, then we'll teach him Vedanta. We don't impose Vedanta on anybody. Okay. So Upanishads don't impose. And Karmakanda says that we are dealing with this limited alone. We are not dealing with facts, therefore don't take our statement as talking about the truth, absolute truth. Our statements of Karmakanda are not useful to establish the truth, to deal with the truth, to deal with the reality. Because we are not talking about the reality, we are different. So this point should be clear. Therefore, Pramanyam Nishpratyuhameya, their validity remains intact. Their validity remains intact. Intact means undisturbed. Text is intact and undisturbed. Or uncontradicted. Otherwise, when you say something and other aspect of the same Upanishads, they say something against it, then it is a contradiction. If it is a contradiction, one of them has to be ignored. If you have to take two into consideration, the meaning is contradiction. Then one of them has to be understood. Then what is the real aim? You have to see that. What is the real aim? You have to retain is a main statement. And what is not its aim, the other statements has to be taken in secondary sense. Like this, we have got an excellent interpretation, principles, tenets of interpretation. The principles of interpretation which Advaita and Shankaracharya follows. Shankaracharya got all this from his tradition, from his earlier gurus. So this Advaitic interpretation is extraordinary things. Because it is a faith and logic and everything is there, and anybody can be convinced, and it is so convincing to anybody. It is not a fanatic, it is not an exclusive thought, you believe us, then only we'll accept you. All this, it doesn't exist. Therefore, Karmakanda statements don't invalidate, don't come in the way of the validity of Upanishads. See, Purvapakshi telling, but Karmakanda teaches karma. How can you say all Upanishads teach one Atman, Ekatmatvam, one non-dual Brahman alone? How can they teach? Vedantin asks why? Why can't they teach? Where do you feel the problem? Obstruction. He feels that, but Karmakanda is teaching differently. Karmakanda is meant to teach differently, therefore it teaches. It is not talking of the truth. Though it knows. See, it is the same Paramatma who is the basis of Jnanakanda and Karmakanda. But Karmakanda is different. It is not, it doesn't interfere. It has no say. It has no say. That means it has no role to play in the Jnanakanda. It doesn't validate nor invalidate. Okay? It doesn't invalidate the Karmakandas. I mean, Upasanas, Upanishads statements, the Karmakandas don't invalidate. Therefore, Purvapakshis fear that, oh, but Karmakanda is talking with some other things. So, is it not contradicting with Upanishads? So, how can you say all Upanishads teach only one truth, Brahman alone? Siddhanti says no. The Karmakanda topics which they are asking, dealing with, they are only for a purpose. For a purpose you use them, that's all. Okay, go to the next. Nishpratyuhame nacha evam vidayaka shrutinam apramanyam. Then you can't say, if Jnanakanda deals with the truth, then what about Karmakanda? Karmakanda doesn't deal with the truth. That means, are they invalid? Karmakanda is invalid? No, it is not invalid. Chitta Shuddhi, Chitta Ekagrya, Krama Muktyadi Prapti Dwara, Teshamapi Atmaikya Jnana Praptyartatvasya Savachatvat. Because karma upasanas also can help you indirectly to gain moksha, though they don't give you directly moksha. So Chitta Shuddhi, karma will give you, if it is performed sincerely without any prejudice, without any ego, without any ambition, just you love to do and then do it. The very loving to do itself purifies you. The very doing, because the doing karma means directly getting related to Ishvara. When you are in relationship with Ishvara continuously, naturally you are a pure person. Therefore, Chitta Shuddhi, then Chitta Ekagram. Chitta Ekagram means mind is by nature what you call turbulent, disturbing nature, keeps on wavering nature. So it has to be concentrated. The concentration gives a great relief, joy. Therefore, people like concentration. But in Vedanta also we need purity of mind and also concentrated mind. Samadhanam is required. Okay, Samadhanam is single pointedness or single attention, which is Vedanta. Vedanta needs it. The Shamadhamadi qualities are required to understand Vedanta. Okay, so Chitta Shuddhi, Chitta Ekagram. Krama Mukti or Karma Upasanas are useful for Krama Mukti. Krama Mukti means you don't attain Brahmajnanam right now. You will be delayed. On the way you will be shown many other things. You will be taken to Brahmaloka, and at a later stage, last will give you Brahmajnanam. So Krama Mukti means going round to attain the Mukti. That's the only difference. Therefore, Karma Upasanas are not totally against Jnanakanda. First thing is they don't interfere. They have no role to play. Karmakanda has no role to play. Secondly, they don't interfere. and they give you little roundabout way, a long way to reach moksha. They'll take you to Brahmaloka. After Brahmaloka, then they'll give you Jnanam. Instead of giving you Jnanam right now, they will just show you something else and give you something else, and at a later stage, they'll give you Jnanam. This is called Krama Mukti. Okay. Krama Mukti Prapti Dwara, Teshamapi Atmaikya Jnana Prapya Tattvasya Suvachatva. Therefore, Karma Kanda, Upasana Kanda also is useful for Vedanta Jnanam, because by purifying the mind, by giving a concentration of the mind, they help you to gain knowledge. Okay, next. Tatahi Shrutihi Tametam Vedanu Vachanena Brahmana Vividishanti. So, one Upanishadic statement openly says, those who do Vedic chanting and rituals and yajna and tapas, all these things. So, Tasma, all these things, such person is fit for Vedanta. Tasmadema Vitshanto Uparatas Titikshus Samahito Bhutvatmanyevatmanam Pashyati. Another Brihadaranyaka statement, that a person who is endowed with, who is in possession of Shama, Dama, Uparate, all these things we have discussed before. Now I don't want to waste my time, unless you need it. If you need it, I'll explain again n number of times. So, Bhutva Atma, and a person who enjoys these qualities, spiritual sattvic qualities, is fit for Vedanta. Sarvapekshadikarana Bhashya. There is in one Adhikarana, Sarvapekshadikarana. There we shall deal with these things in detail. Vidya Jnana Sadhanaka Sadhanadikarana Bhashya Nirdharayishyate Tadevam Sarve Vedanta Anadya Vidya Nirasaka Nirasikatmaikatva Vidyartha. Therefore, by negating Anadi Avidya, the beginningless ignorance, they will give rise to, they will generate the Atmaikatva Vidya, the knowledge of unity of Atman. Tan Nirnayaschyasyam Sharirika Mimamsayam Bhavateti Sarvam Sustam. Therefore, this how Upanishadic mantras unanimously arrive at a truth, Brahman as the truth, which is the absolute truth. How they do, this is determined in the Brahma Sutras. The 70th passage is over. Then the last 71 passage, which is big, and the 72 is only just one small 4 or 5 sentences, is a conclusion. Last in conclusion, Mangala Charanava. See, this is our tradition that Swamiji writes few shlokas in praise of Guru and Vedanta and all that. That is 72 section, 72 passage. But the main topic is only 71 passage. It discusses certain important points which are left out in the entire book of Sugama, which are important points it discusses. We'll discuss with tomorrow. I don't know how far it will work, but I have decided that every day I will have one talk of Sugama, as well as all the 6 days of a week. I am trying to see, let me do. If I succeed, I think it will be good. Otherwise, weekly 2 days is a very too little, and sometimes due to some reason, it gets cancelled also. So daily, some portion around 40-45 minutes, so we shall have Sugama, and also another 40 minutes of Vedanta Paribhasha in Kannada. Okay, so today's portion is over. 71st passage we will start tomorrow. Avidyam prati vividha shankas tatpariharascha. Now this is the main topic. There are certain doubts. There are certain questions about avidya, the main point avidya, and Swamiji's clarifications of those avidya, regarding avidya. Okay, so this regarding avidya, a few doubts he discusses. We'll deal with tomorrow. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Tat.